3 years ago today, I started the Logan Games 8989 YouTube channel. It was possibly the worst channel name somebody could have come up with. But I liked it, so I created the channel and made my first video. The first video I ever made was a joke video where I went to a website where a bot would beat the Friday Night Funkin' mod for Shaggy for you. At the time, God Eater was very impressive, and I just thought it would make a funny video as a pretty annoying child at the time. I still am an annoying child, but I have done a lot in the past 3 years that this channel has been a thing. 133 videos later, making FNAF content, Undertale content, just some stupid stuff like the Backrooms and Blender. I'm here now to celebrate 3 years. And for this special occasion, I have quite a controversial opinion. What a lot of people don't realize is that Undertale is a terrible, awful, genuinely repulsive game experience. I'm not lying. I genuinely think that this is true. So, with that being said, let's get into it. Here is why I think Undertale is the worst game ever made. Okay, first and foremost, let's just talk about some of the awful things that Toby Fox himself has done. For example, in an interview, he did this.
Dan, I think I might need to take a minute.
Oh yeah, you want to go? Yeah, he's just gonna go backstage and I'm glad he's using good mic technique there at least. I mean, Toby has been, he was brought up by, oh, hi.
Hi, I'm Toby Fox, creator of Undertale.
Toby Fox, everybody. No, I haven't gotten to it yet.
Dan?
Yeah, Toby.
Dan?
Yeah?
Why, Dan?
Oh, no.
Why?
I want you guys to just see the unprofessionalism in what he just did. Toby Fox basically hates you. Like, he literally pretended to be a dog in a professional interview. Like, who would consider that funny? That's just completely awful and unprofessional. But that isn't where the unprofessionalism stops. Oh no, that's just the beginning. Let's have a look at this tweet that Toby Fox himself put out. For context, this is when Sans won the award for the best Tumblr sexy man or whatever. And this is what Toby Fox tweeted. Having cheated his way to the last round of the competition, Raijin finds himself face to face with Sans, who got there by doing literally nothing. Although Raijin has an early lead, he decides that if he wants to cinch this, he's going to have to collude with his competition. He's surprised when Sans, who was entered in the contest unwittingly by his brother, is glad to help him win free of charge. They both run a series of debates where Raijin dismantles Sans by proving how utterly unattractive he is. As the debates continue, Raijin puts on a boy band style makeup and works out to become extra attractive. However, mysteriously, Sans' vote only seems to be increasing despite it. Sans mentions that Raijin forgot that being unattractive is one of the key tenets to becoming a popular guy on Tumblr. Emotionally crushed that he possibly wasn't actually attractive at all, Raijin considers falling out of the competition. However, he is cheered up by Mob, who says that Raijin should to remember what he taught him. He should have confidence, regardless of what anyone thinks of him. On the final day of the campaign, Raijin shows up with rings under his eyes, a 5 o'clock shadow, and a dad bod. Without saying anything, he takes out a sandwich on stage and stuffs it into his mouth. He follows up with his special attack, putting his fingers in his mouth like that one picture of Peter from the Spider-Verse. The audience cheers, and Raijin's polling makes a massive comeback. In the end, the results are revealed. Sans won by a single vote. Raijin can't believe it. 1 vote? How could he lose by 1 vote? Even that stupid skeleton voted for him. Mob shows up and says offhand that since Tumblr sexy men are unattractive, he wanted Raijin to have self-confidence and not rely on what other people think of him. Therefore, he voted for Sans. And Raijin doesn't know how to feel about this. First and foremost, Toby condones what happened with Tumblr instead of suing them and shutting it all down. That is just awful human being behavior. And second of all, he wrote a fan fiction about it. Like, that is incredibly unprofessional stuff. This is why Toby Fox is comparable to P. Diddy. The next thing that I want to talk about is the music in this game. Because, my god, the music in this game is terrible. Let me give you just one audio track. One audio track that is in this game that is undeniable evidence that the music in this game is awful. You heard that correctly. That is an actual piece of audio from this game. Can you imagine that audio being placed over any other video game? And let me be honest with you. That is the best audio track in the entire game. Have a look at this tier list, for example. This tier list, from this completely normal and not deranged person, put this in S tier, comparable to every other piece of this game's OST. Just listening to that makes your ears want to dance after hearing the rest of the audio. In fact, from this video, I just assumed that the rest of the audio in this game is so bad that I just muted my headset for my entire time that I played this game, because I didn't even want to have the experience of this game's soundtrack. But what if I told you that's not even the worst part about this game? Let me bring you my next point. The only way for you to beat this game is to kill everyone and everything. Like, why even have a mercy button in the battle menu? The only way that you can beat this game is to just flat out stick a knife in everyone's back that you see, which would be nice for any other RPG. That's just completely normal. But here's the problem. You are forced to run around every single zone, every single area, just to kill everybody you meet. Even dogs. The creator makes you feel bad about doing something that the creator is literally forcing you to do. And then, the bosses in this game, which the creator forces you to fight, are so mind-bogglingly difficult, especially for the first time that a player gets to experience the game. I'll get into how awful this game introduces you to itself later on, but just for this moment, the first real boss fight that you defeat is called Undyne the Undying. And Undyne the Undying looks like this. And this is the first time that the player is even introduced to a boss fight. How are they supposed to know what to do? This is literally forced upon you. There's no way to avoid this boss fight at all. I've tried basically everything, but this fight is forced upon you. And then the only other boss fight in this game is just as hard, if not harder. Not only that, but when you beat the game, you're forced to wait 10 minutes on a black screen, just doing nothing. That's right, you heard me right. 10 minutes of sitting in your chair watching a black screen. I mean, for the first part of this sequence, I just thought that there was no way to continue. I thought my game was broken. But it turns out, when you wait 10 minutes, everything just resets. So what do you even wait 10 minutes for? Yeah, that's right. You wait 10 minutes for nothing. Like, my blood is boiling just thinking about it. Waiting 10 minutes on a black screen, just watching it, while nothing in the background is going on. There's no way to avoid this either. This is the only way that things can go. You have to fight two basically impossible bosses, and then sit in the end at a black screen for 10 minutes that you can't even avoid. And that's not even it. Let me introduce you to point number, whatever it is at this point. This game refuses to tell you what to do ever. Like, when I first opened the game, I had no idea what to do. Luckily, the enter key usually works, so I just spammed that button. But then I got to this section where it makes you, name your character, and you have to get all the way down to the enter button. Now, I didn't know how to do this, so I had to click every single key on my keyboard until finally I was able to input my name. And then it just dropped me in the middle of nowhere with no guide on how to move my character around. So I, again, had to sit there, individually, pressing every key on my keyboard until something happened on screen. The arrow keys ended up working until I moved on to the next screen, in which I got a text box. And guess what? The game does not tell you how to move through a text box. So, again, I sat pressing every single key individually on my keyboard until finally the enter key worked. It would be so easy to just place a big, unmissable guide on how to get places and how to actually control my character. And in fact, you should just leave it on screen, because what if somebody playing this game has terminal memory loss and they forget how to move their character? Well, then they're going to have to sit there pressing every single key individually. So just leave this big text that tells you how to move your character up on the screen like a watermark, because watermarks and ads, they never get annoying. Let's just go on to my next point. I don't think I could be madder than how mad I am right now, just talking into the microphone. Oh my... This game is ugly. And I mean that. Look on this specific screen, in this specific area. There is a single pixel that is colored differently. You're seeing that correctly. How could a game developer that genuinely cares about the game and the people who play it miss something like that? That is the easiest thing to correct. It's one pixel that you have to just color correctly. How do you miss that? How? Actually, this game is atrocious looking. This pretty much makes Toby Fox Hitler. That is something that is underlying throughout this entire game. The developer of this game literally started World War II. The final thing that I have to say about this game, and the thing that makes it truly the worst experience, is the game's fanbase. Now, before you say something like, it's not Toby Fox's fault that the fan base is so deranged, it is, because Toby Fox controls all of his fans. That's obvious. Why else would people continuously say Deltarune tomorrow? It's because Toby Fox is motivating people to do it, so that he can advertise his game and spread it to the entire world, so he can control more people into fulfilling his evil plan. And that's what makes the fan base so deranged. It's because Toby Fox himself is deranged, controlling his entire fan base. This fan base is probably the worst fan base out of any game ever. Anyways, that is the end of the video. It's why I think Undertale is the worst game ever made. And the last thing that I have to say is... April Fools!